welcome to Drilling Deeper at mining.com.au. I'm Oriel Morrison. Lucky enough to have two guests joining me today. Jonathon, the CEO of Lincoln Minerals, and Justin Gum, exploration geologist. Now, welcome, gentlemen. You two are coming to me from on-site. Where are you today?
So, Oriel, we're at 60 k's south of Whyalla on the Eyre Peninsula, South Australia.
Now, we're going to be talking about potentially three company makers, but I wanted to start off by touching on the hole that should not have been drilled. Tell us more.
Yeah, so this hole should not have been drilled. There were two companies on the same deposit. Centrix had the magnetite iron ore rights. Lincoln had the rights for everything else. So Centrix was focused on its bungalow project. They had a JV with a Chinese group. They spent $30 million on this. Ours is underneath and just effectively just below it. So what happened was that Centrix was focused on its PFS. They had 3 rigs going. It was night shift. The driller kept on drilling. He should have only stopped at 2 meters past the magnetite contact. He kept drilling. The geologist rocked up in the morning, saw this massive copper sulfide, got excited, and they just kept on drilling for another 3 shifts. And yet there was no commercial value for Lincoln. So this copper-zinc discovery wasn't even planned. It was a magnetite hole. So at the time, Lincoln was focused on its graphite. It came along, said, yeah, that's interesting, but copper's not in the toilet at the moment. So it was left and forgotten till now.
So just how big a potential do you think this discovery could have?
So this has got it's got all the major ingredients for a discovery. It's in the Gawler Craton. Think Olympic Dam, Prominent Hill, Carrapateena, Hillside, Moonta. So it's got large scale potential. I'll let Justin talk about the major ones, but it has got scale. And how big could this be, Justin?
Well, it's very hard to say at this stage, but we certainly are on a very major crustal scale structure, the Kalinjala Shear Zone. That is going through rocks with known lead, zinc and copper mineralisation in other areas. Many dams are a good example further to the north. And so we've got all the ingredients there for this mineralisation to be a quite sizable deposit.
And the other great thing is it's 120 metres below depth, so it's open cuttable. It's not deep, so that's another huge tick. And we've got infrastructure all within 25 k's, port, water, power.
So it could have the potential to be a very big discovery. Justin, how much more on the exploration, on the geology side, how much more work do you have to do on that before you can actually determine the size?
Yeah, well, that's what we're coming to grips with at the moment. So this is our second campaign on logging the core, going back and looking at the tail ends of all the holes that Centrix drilled. Of course, they weren't focused on the ends of their holes. Once they got past the magnetite, they didn't pay too much attention at all. So we've had to go back and log those sections in detail. There is some structural complication to the ore body, so we're measuring structures from the core, the oriented core that we do have. And then with all that information, then we'll plan our ongoing drilling program to chase up where this mineralisation is leading us.
So, Jonathon, what are the next steps here from your perspective? What is the strategy around this discovery?
So this is our Lincoln's major focus right now, is to get it and see if we've got a third company maker. So we are finishing off the logging and the drilling and the assaying in the next 2 months. We'll have define and prioritise our drill targets, and we'll be drilling July quarter. So that's our aim. It's a catalyst for a re-rating for us, so it's very important. It hasn't been recognised yet. And drill I'm looking forward to the results.
Now, I'm particularly interested in the advent of new technology. It's pretty exciting when you see what's happening in the mining industry itself. I know that you've been using AI and other new technology. Let me ask you, from an exploration perspective, what are you most excited about?
I think using new methods that haven't been brought to bear. So we're PXRF using portable XRF sampling to pick up small bodies of mineralisation that weren't identified before and weren't sampled, because these tail ends of the iron ore drilling, they didn't bother sampling when there was no iron ore there. So we've already picked up several occurrences of the zinc and lead mineralisation that we hadn't realised were there before, and they're quite crucial for tracking vectoring towards where the main body of mineralisation is. So using that very rapid technology, that we can use on site, potentially using spectral scanning of the core as well to pick up subtle variations in mineralogy that we can then use also to vector towards where the larger accumulations of metals might be. They're two things that really...
And we've got that $30 million worth of data. We've got a detailed resource model that's effectively right on our boundary. And we've got geophysics. We're looking at reinterpreting, and we are looking at putting all that information into a sort of a chat GPT to make it easier for everyone to work out, because there is so much data, and even a simple email sometimes can help enlighten what was previously thought of. A simple example is there's a report for massive sulfides that they were focused on the acid mine drainage. Justin picked it up that they talked about cross bedding of the massive sulfides. So we've got a leapfrog of on knowledge just from that simple report.
And it's just incredible how quickly that data becomes available as well. Jonathon, we talked at the start about 3 company makers, or potentially 3 company makers, I should say. Before I let you both go, could you give me a bit of an update on your other 2?
Yep. No, actually, there's 2 that aren't potentials. They are company makers. It's just that the metal prices aren't right for them at the moment. So Kookaburra Gully, that's got a mining lease. We've redone the PFS. It's got 29 million capital, which is low capex, surrounded by infrastructure, high grade at surface. So but the metal price is not right for it to move right now. So, but that is a good early starter opportunity for us. The other one is 1.2 billion tons of high purity iron. Now, another company combined with Chinese, they spent $70 million on this project. We've got a resource, we've got it at DFS level. So that is, and the infrastructure has significantly improved in Eyre Peninsula, but that needs a big partner. That's $500 million to $2.5 billion. You don't do it as a junior. So those are the other 2 company makers. They are the 2 company makers in our company.
And Jonathon, when you look at those, or Justin, I should say, when you look at those, which one are you most excited about?
I think the graphite is definitely an interesting or an exciting prospect, because there is so much graphite down in the southern Eyre Peninsula. So I think it's a tip of the iceberg type stuff. Once you get one of those operational and into play, then I think there'll be a lot of kick on for other deposits to be found around it and further afield as well. So yeah, I find that very exciting, that one, and a commodity that is going to be increasingly in demand in our modern tech-hungry world. So
absolutely, very, very tech hungry. So Jonathon, we'll be expecting some updates from you over the next weeks to months.
Yeah, so because we've got 2,200 meters we're relogging, re-assaying. That's free. We didn't have to. That's so that in the next 2 months you'll have all that flowing through. Then we've got some good news flow from the graphite and some other stories from our iron ore. So, and we might even throw in some of information about our uranium.
Oh, look forward to it. We're looking forward to that update as well. Jonathan and Justin, thank you both so much for joining us today. You enjoy that beautiful day.
Okay, thank you, Ariel.
Thank you, Oriel.
Thank